Well, it's the first hike of 2026. Finally getting back out after, God, at least probably 6 months of no hiking at all. And it's going to be a very short hike. I'm already tired just from driving out here. I had a very, very, very lazy winter. Very lazy. So it's going to be a little bit hard getting back into hiking. Well, I mean, I never even got into hiking shape last year, but I kept going out and trying. So I don't know. It's going to be like really starting from scratch this time around. My arm's already getting tired from holding the phone. It's like 83 degrees up here right now. It was 93 in town. And it's, what is it, like March 25th, I think? Like, oh my God. Summer came very early this year. It's supposed to cool down Friday. It's supposed to go back down to the 70s. So hopefully, maybe that'll last for a while. Because I'm like, I mean, part of the reason that I stopped hiking last year was because of the heat. Like, it was just so hot. I was going out. I mean, I remember one of my last hikes was in the same area. It was across the highway, but it was the same place. And I remember it was like 96 degrees that day. And I was just like, this is too much. I can't keep doing this. And so I tucked my tail. I retreated indoors. Spent my winter just kind of chilling. I should have gone back out hiking in the winter, but to be honest, I started working a lot more again. I lost my beautiful schedule of being off for 3.5 days and working for 3.5 days. And I went back to working like a lot of hours. I was back working 6 days a week, sometimes over 40 hours a week. And I don't know. I was really exhausted. So it's been an interesting time. I actually kind of thought maybe I was done filming my hikes. Anyway, like I didn't even think about hiking until like 2 days ago. All of a sudden, like 2 days ago, it just popped in my head that I should start going hiking again. But I kind of thought I was done doing the videos and stuff. Because I had like I don't know, I had quite a change in, I don't know, I guess like in my spiritual growth, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird way to say it. I don't know how to say it. It's not like I have like an awakening. In fact, I feel like I'm less spiritual than I was, to be honest, but also like more in a way. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. But I kind of there's tire tracks through here. People aren't supposed to drive through here. This is foot traffic only. I don't know. When I stopped hiking last fall, for at least a couple of months, because I don't remember exactly when I stopped, but at least for a couple of months, maybe more, I was still on my 3.5 days on, 3.5 days off schedule. And what I started doing instead of going out and hiking was I started spending a lot of time playing my video game, Stardew Valley. I played Stardew Valley for, I don't know, at least 5 years I've been playing it. But I got really, really into it in the fall. Like, that just became my because I was like, I'm not going hiking anymore. I decided to take a break from that, and it ended up being a long break. So I was just like, I'm just going to spend my days indoors in the air conditioning, and I'll just play my game for a while. And weirdly enough, that, like, it did something for me. It really did. It did something that years of meditating and spiritual seeking never seemed to be able to do for me. It got my mind to shut up finally. And I don't mean shut up like completely shut up. I don't know. Like it's still, my mind still goes. It's just that like I would have these long, because I would spend so much time playing this game, and I just wouldn't think while I was playing the game. I just wouldn't think. And it became like a form of meditation for me. Like I was able to just go into these states of no thinking while I was playing my game. And I noticed that it really like, it started like having an effect on me outside of, the times that I was playing. Like I noticed that when I was like working or socializing or whatever, like, I don't know, my thoughts just didn't bother me as much as they used to. Like I didn't get all caught up. I almost like was able to separate myself from my thoughts and realize that, not every thought that popped in my head was worth me giving attention, that things just kind of went on in there and didn't really have anything to do with me or anything that was going on around me. And I don't know, it just really helped me to come to this place of just acceptance of myself and my mind and just how all of these things that I used to give so much weight to just aren't important. And just realizing that, life is just about existing, that I don't have to do anything, I don't have to achieve anything, I don't have to be anything, that I can spend my days in whatever manner I want, whether it's hiking or playing video games or working or just sitting around staring off into space. Like, it literally doesn't matter. It means absolutely nothing. I'm just here to exist in whatever manner makes sense to me from moment to moment. And the thoughts that go on in my head, like, they're just not that important, They don't mean anything. They're just kind of these things that float around in the ether around me, and I can choose to engage with them or choose to let them go. Yeah, so it's kind of wild that, just playing Stardew Valley brought me to a higher spiritual place than anything I've ever done before. And I think it was just because I just experienced those moments of no thought while I was playing. And then it would make me realize, like, when I would start having thoughts again, like, wait a minute, what are these things? They weren't there before. Why did they pop up and try to, like, make me feel things or act out in certain ways? It's weird. So, like, nothing's changed as far as I still have thoughts. I still think all the time. It's just that I'm able to decide if these are thoughts that I actually want to entertain or if I just want to let them drift on. And I still get like emotional, you know, I get mad about stuff, I get irritated, I get happy, you know. Like, it happens. And then again, I just find that I can just kind of decide, like, do I want to hang on to this or do I want to let this go? Do I want to let myself be mad about this for a while and then let it go? Like, what would I like to do? And yeah, it's really, really interesting. Kind of nice. Much nicer than how I used to be. Like, I was having some real irritation this past week because I was getting to the point with working all those hours that I was feeling pretty burnt out. And I've been trying to get myself to a place where I could cut back on those hours. I've been hiring people and training people. And it's been frustrating because, you know, you hire them and they don't show up for work, or they show up and work a few days and then they quit. And then, you know, some people have very limited availability. So it's been pretty frustrating. Just trying to get myself down to a place where I can go back to just working, like, you know, maybe like 4 days a week or something. And then a couple weeks ago, about 2.5 weeks ago, I got sick. And it was a weird illness. It wasn't like I ever got like, I don't know, like really bad. As far as like I would feel nauseated or dizzy, but I wasn't like throwing up. Like I still felt capable of working most days, so I was going into work. But then I did end up having to call out one day because I had this really weird thing happen where all of a sudden my knees got like inflamed with pain, and I could barely walk. So I ended up having to call in, and that day I spent the whole day in bed. And not only were my knees hurting, but my head was just pounding. It was so much pain in my head, like every time I moved. And so the next day was my day off, and I ended up getting Walmart delivery to my house and getting like some cold packs and some Excedrin and stuff. And for a few days I was having to take Excedrin like every 6 hours, because as soon as it would wear off, I would just get these horrible, sharp, throbbing pains in my head. And I realized that I had developed an ear infection. And so that was causing this throbbing pain in my head. And I was still going into work. I mean, I only missed one day out of the 2 weeks. Like, because it took 2 weeks for me to get over this thing, and for the pain to go away, and for me to get my energy back, because I could barely eat during those 2 weeks. I lost some weight, but I already put it back on because as soon as I could eat again, I was like, I'm eating. I didn't like not being able to eat. But my energy was super low from not eating, and just spending, because I was spending all my time in bed. If I wasn't at work, I was at home in bed. I was napping all evening. So, and then, oh God, in the heat, like I was sweating every night, on fire. It was crazy. And finally, well, I was almost at the end of that, to where I was like starting to feel better, but I still felt like I needed some time to recover. And I ended up, like, somebody called in and I had to cover for them, so I had to work a double when I was just wanting to go home and rest. And I got pissed off and was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to quit. I can't take this anymore. Like, this is unfair. I've been sick for 2 weeks. And I can't even rest. And I just got so irritated and pissed off. And so one of the people there, like, helped me figure out a schedule for this week so I could take a few days off this week. And so finally, I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Today's Wednesday. It's my last day off. And which I still had to do. I had to do like 2 hours of training on Monday. I had to do like an hour of training today, so they weren't even real days off. But But yeah, I did start to feel like, especially yesterday, with actually having the entire day off and not having to do anything work related, not having to think about work, like it allowed me to kind of get back into the right mindset. And I was like, okay, I went through a rough time there, but I was burned out, I was sick, you know, but now I'm back, I feel better. I'm not as pissed off about working, I don't want to quit. I'll be fine. But so, I mean, definitely I still get into some weird moods, I still go to some places. I'm not like happy go lucky all the time. But that's fine. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to be, honestly. I'm just a human being existing in whatever way makes sense to me. And I still do stupid stuff. I still feel embarrassment. I still feel ashamed sometimes, and I make mistakes or say the wrong thing in a situation. But again, like, I'm just not hanging on to it. Just letting that stuff go and just go and, you know, forgiving myself, say, well, I'm human, you know. I'm not perfect. I think there was always this part of me that always thought that I had to be the one that behaved correctly. You know, like it was important that I behaved correctly for some reason. Even though, like, when I pay attention, I look around me in the world, and I'm like, everybody is dumbasses. Everybody says stupid shit. Everybody does stupid shit. Like, everybody can be assholes. Everybody can be idiots. Like, why was I always putting so much pressure on myself for me to always have the correct behavior in all situations? And always feeling so much shame if I didn't. That's so dumb. So now I'm able to see that I'm just human, you know, and I just react to things in whatever way I've been conditioned to in my life, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. I just learn from the experience and move on. That's all you can do. I'm really tired. I really wanted to come do this today, but I think it was the wrong day. I'm very tired. That's all right. I just moseyed down a little bit. I'm gonna mosey up a little bit. Maybe I'll mosey up, I don't know. Or I might just be like, okay, I'm just gonna sit out here in nature for a little bit. I walked a little bit down the trail, and so I'm just gonna sit here and chill out. I would like some water. Oh, but yeah, that's the story of my winter. Where I've been since I haven't been hiking. I'm really tired. I barely even walked, and I'm like so tired. But I have been super, super lazy, and I'm just still getting over my sickness, so I'm gonna be forgiving of myself. Whew, I think I'll walk back up to the car and just say, well, I did it. I got out for the day. I just gotta keep on doing it. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna head back up to the car. Okay, I had to go back to the car and get the air conditioning on. But I am, like, last year I was hiking in 90 some odd degree weather, but I'm not ready for that right now. Too out of shape. I haven't done this in too long. I've been sitting on my butt for too long. And still trying to recover, I think. Like, because my ear started, my right ear, which is the one that I had the ear infection on, started ringing, like, really bad. It was making me feel kind of lightheaded. So I was like, okay, I'm not completely healed from my illness either yet. But at least I got out. I know where my starting point is. I do got to try to get out here earlier in the day, that's for sure. I didn't make it until 2 o'clock today because of other stuff that I had going on. So I definitely need to try to come when I can get up early and get up here before it starts getting really hot. And I definitely need to do some stuff at home in the meantime too. I'm gonna get my treadmill cleared off so I can start doing little walks on my treadmill, and then I have some some ideas in mind for a little bit of strength training for my legs and my arms. So So now that I know, where my starting point is, and we'll just see if I can build up from here and yeah, get back into it for a while, hopefully. But this was good. I'm glad I came out. I also want to try, like, instead of last year where I kept trying to hike the trails that had a lot of like elevation gain and stuff, I'm gonna stick with the easy trails up here for a while and just focus on them. And once I get some practice on the easy trails and start being able to get some better distance on them, then maybe I can start trying the harder trails again. So, okay, yeah, that was it. That's me back hiking again. Here we go.